Turn it up, listen up. Welcome to Jukebox News. I have a story about child support. We're going to get right into it. I'm going to do this thing. But first, I want to tell you whose video I got this from. So you can go watch that video if you want. I don't like clipping people's stuff. I'm going to give them credit. This came from Court Watchers, okay? Court, Court, Watchers. That's the name of the channel. And also, I watched also another YouTuber. Her name is Pink Lesson. So I did get some of her take on it, but I'm coming from my own take. I'm coming from a black woman with intuition. Okay. Now I did send this to the lead attorney because I want to get an attorney's perspective because he always comes from a different angle. But this right now is my opinion and it's coming from a black woman's intuition. So let's do this thing. I'm gonna play the video. Stop yakety yakking so you guys can get into it. First, okay, the girl on the all the way to the right there. Can you see? Yeah, at the first lady. That's Miss Deborah. She works for the court. I'm not sure what her position is. The next lady over, Miss Lonnie, a black woman with yellow. She is the finance lady. The other girl, that's the baby's mother of the daughter. She's trying to get child support from the guy who's in the little circle. He's just on the phone. That's the father of the child. And the top lady here, I don't know if you can see my icon here, my arrow. But anyway, she is the working for the district attorney. She's like the attorney suing the man for child support for the state of Texas. Now they live in Texas, so Texas has its own rules. So that's why I want to let women know: you have a baby in Texas, baby. The law, there's other laws here, and you have to contend to those. So I'm gonna do this right now. Let's do this. Let's do this.
What I've just done. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Everett, I've just placed on the screen a copy of the alleged DNA test results in regards to the child journey. Is it okay if I see these results?
Yes.
State's Exhibit A is admitted into evidence.
So he is the father of...
That's what the DNA test results show. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You heard what she said? She said, oh, so he is the father? And the judge said, that's what the DNA test result says. So characteristic number one, because in this video, we're going to answer the question, what type of woman is this? So characteristic number one, she was unsure who the father of her baby was. That's what she was. So what type of woman is unsure of what type of, who the father of her child is? So we're going to go right back into it. Let's hear what else she has to say. Okay.
Yes.
State's Exhibit A is admitted into evidence.
So he is the father of...
That's what the DNA test results show. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You know how many other children he may have under the age of 18 besides Journey?
If maybe two, because I don't. It's some stuff that I don't know. So.
Okay. What did she say? Maybe two, because there's some stuff that I don't know. There's some stuff I don't know. So characteristic what? Number two, she doesn't know that much about the father. And this is what the girl in Pink Lesson YouTube channel, she brought out. That she doesn't even know that much about her baby daddy. And she doesn't. So that's characteristic number two. What type of woman is this? That's the question that we're answering. We'll go right back to her.
Maybe two, because I don't. It's some stuff that I don't know. So maybe two.
Now, are you asking for back child support?
No, I don't.
See, now watch her body language when she says that. See, no. So she's saying no. She doesn't want back child support, but her body language is telling us she does want back. She does want back child support. She's not being honest about it. So that's another characteristic. She does want back child support. So if she wants all that back child support, what does that mean? She's about that money. What did Rihanna say? Better have my money. Don't act like you forgot. Okay? She's about that money, and that's what she wants. So that's another characteristic. Number three. It's only like, 1 minute we've been listening, And we already got 3 characteristics, and that's not characteristics of a classy woman. So we're gonna let her go on and talk, see what else she got to say about herself, because she just tells off on herself, and that's what another part of what this video is about. You keep talking too much, you start losing. You might be winning, you keep talking, thinking, oh, I'm winning, I'm gonna get more, and you ended up getting less.
I want to do the back child support because he said he cannot afford to do the back child support.
Okay.
Bendron Averett.
Where do you work?
I work with Indorama Ventures.
And how long do you work there?
Ma'am, I didn't hear you.
How long have you worked there?
Right at 4.5 years, something like that.
And how much do you make an hour?
I make $3,500 every 2 weeks, gross.
Okay, so I'm pausing it there because we're gonna just fast forward just a little bit because they just keep going through how much he makes and a week, and he keeps stumbling over that. So we're gonna get right to when the financial lady comes on, and she has the information straight from his job of how much he makes. So we'll get right to that right now. So now the finance lady is about to come on.
Your Honor, I don't have anything further of Mr. Randall. I'd like to call Miss Finch.
Go ahead.
Miss Finch, can you state your name, please?
Sabrina Finch.
And you work for the Office of the Attorney General?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long have you worked for them?
A couple of years.
And what is your job title?
Financial specialist.
And as part of your job duties, do you have access and information from employers regarding our customers' wages?
Yes.
And do you have that information for Mr. Everett?
Yes, I do.
And what quarters have you looked at for his wages?
First quarter of 2021, fourth quarter of 2020, third quarter of 2020, and second quarter of 2020, 12 months.
Okay, in the second quarter of 2020, how much did he make?
He made $38,633.50.
Whoa.
No.
I need Miss Finch.
For that quarter. I'm sorry.
No, I just heard 3 different figures.
No, I'm sorry. I was trying to think. For the second quarter of 2020, he made $34,822.58.
So that means for the January, February, March, April, May, and June of 2021, that's how much he made. So they're going from basically from Easter 2021 all the way to Easter 2020 all the way to Easter 2021.
And for the third quarter of 2020, how much did he make?
$40,563.71.
And for the fourth quarter of 2020, how much did he make?
$31,356.36.
And the first quarter of 2021, how much did he make?
$38,858.26.
And so what was his total gross for the last?
Now, did you catch that? Did you see her big head going like, oh, however she did it, Did you see it? We're gonna check that out one more again, because she's realizing how much money he actually is making. Obviously, she thought that he was making something else, but now she's realizing how much he really makes. We're gonna watch that again right quick.
The first quarter of 2021, how much did he make?
$38,858.26.
And so what was his total gross for the last 12 months?
Total gross was.
See, now this is the part that I don't get. Why do you have your breasts all in the camera? That I don't understand that. What does that tell you? This is the way she dresses in court? Totally unprofessional. Another characteristic. What's that's like? No, characteristic number 4. Got her breasts all up in the camera. Does she think the judge is impressed with that? What is she thinking? That lets you know she's not thinking. She's totally not thinking. And why doesn't this lady have this totaled up anyway? There's something else pink brought up.
Just to round it off, it was $145,599.
Look at her face. Look at her. Ugh.
And so what was his monthly gross?
Monthly gross is $12,133.25.
See, look at her. Look at her.
And so would his net fall under the maximum net of 9,200?
Yes, the net was $8,911.69.
Okay,
That's a lot of money to her.
9,200.
A lot.
Were you able to determine what the child support would be, or did you know how many other children he had?
Well, when I spoke with Mr. Everett, the impression that I received was that he had 3 children on another case, but one of those children had emancipated on his other child support case. And then the 2 children that are in the home with him, I was under the impression that those were stepchildren. I didn't calculate those in.
Okay.
So I was under the impression that those weren't his biological children. So he only had 2 other children that he's.
Okay, so you see her go back on that like, oh, well, how many kids does he really have? Are these stepchildren, or maybe are those not his real children? He told me he had 2 kids. Did he lie? Her mind now is just turning. She don't know what to do. She don't know what to think. All these thoughts. Now she started to think, but she wasn't thinking before. She wasn't thinking before at all. But now, okay, now all of a sudden you want to start thinking, Miss Randall. So let's continue to hear what Miss Finch has to say, because she has all the money information.
Currently paying child support for. So
Okay.
that's the basis of my calculations. On the health insurance, he wasn't able to tell me how much he was paying. He actually indicated he had 9 people on there, and this child would be the 10th individual.
Okay.
Insurance. So I wasn't able to calculate the insurance, but based on our discussion, I came up with a monthly amount of $1,425.87.
Okay. Thank you. I have nothing further of this witness, Your Honor. I would like to recall Mr. Everett to ask him about whether or not those children are his or if they're stepchildren.
Go ahead.
Mr. Everett, are the children living in your home your biological children?
Yes, ma'am. They're my biological children.
Okay, they're not stepchildren.
No, ma'am.
And then your 3 children in your other order, is one of those children already 18?
Yes, ma'am. He just turned 18 this year.
Okay, so you just have 2 other children that are not living with you that are under the age of 18?
Yes, ma'am.
So a total of 4.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Your Honor, I have nothing further.
So now she's learning how many children he really has. And the judge is going to ask the right questions, because he knows how to ask test questions, and they fail.
Call your next witness.
I have no further witnesses, Your Honor.
I have a question.
I'll get right to you, Miss Randall. Let me ask some questions.
I mean, of course you have a question now that you got him in front of a judge and he has to tell you the truth. Look at her with her hand up by her face. Like now she's all mad and she got her lip pumped up because she found out he's making more money than she thought. Oh my God, Miss Randall. What a terrible situation you find yourself in.
Questions first, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Everett, can you hear me?
He can hear you.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Mr. Everett, when Miss Finch testified, she seemed to indicate that the 2 children that are living with you in your apartment were your stepchildren. Why do you think she would come up with that?
I guess she must have misunderstood what I was saying.
All right. So those 2 children that are in your apartment, those that live with you, those are your biological children. Is that correct?
Tess,
Yes, I got two biological children that lives with me.
All right. And where's the mother of those two children?
answer too slow.
In Louisiana.
Okay.
Look at Miss
And
Lonnie.
how old are those children?
12 and 13.
All right. So they're there in the apartment by themselves during the day while you're working?
No, they're with their mother.
Oh, but their mother's in Louisiana.
Yes.
Okay.
See, that was a test question. I think he failed his test questions. Number one, he answered too slow. He asked how old they were. He was like, about 12, 13. That age, those children, make sure you know how old they are. Then he said, and where's the mother? He said, Louisiana. Okay. Now, I know Port Arthur and Louisiana, they're border towns. Port Arthur, Texas, and Louisiana, they touch each other because Port Arthur is a border town right down in the bayou down there in the Gulf of Mexico by the water. But they're not that far away from each other. So it's possible, you know. We're going to get right into it. But this judge, he's asking the right questions, and they're totally failing these questions, I believe, in my opinion. So just keep in mind, we're asking ourselves what type of woman.
So, Mr. Averitt, you said that that you make your gross is $3,500 every 2 weeks. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
But you do make a lot more than that because of whatever additional circumstances you get paid for from your company, right?
Yeah, that's like in catastrophic things go on in the area, tornadoes or freezes like happen and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, let's be honest about it, Mr. Averitt. I mean, you testified that you make $3,500 over 2 weeks, but your employer told the state of Texas that you made.
I'm sorry, y'all. I am so sorry to interrupt it again, but I'm just too through with her facial expressions. Now she's like, what does she got? Up in the camera. You know, what is that gonna do? Is that gonna help your situation? I'm too done with her. Look at her face. Just look at it. Pause.
Over $145,000 last year. That's a lot more than 35. That's a lot more than 3,500 every 2 weeks.
Wow.
Well, like I said, I can get a letter from my employee stating what I'm saying today.
The problem is, Mr. Averitt, is that your employer has already told the Attorney General what they paid you last. Ms. Randall, please don't say anything else while I'm talking to Mr. Averitt, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But they told me also that if I needed to show the court a letter, they would write a letter stating that that don't happen here all the time for us in my department to make overtime like that.
Well, I completely understand that, Mr. Averitt, but I mean, those were your wages for the last 12 months is what your employer told the AG's office, right?
That's what they told him.
I mean, there's no guarantee, Mr. Averitt, that you're going to make that kind of money in the future. I get it.
He's screwed.
But that is the income that you had last year, right?
Yes, it is. Bless his heart.
Yeah, based on overtime, yes.
Okay.
And look at her.
I do understand. I do understand, Mr. Averitt, that overtime's not guaranteed, but you need to understand, sir, that your income is what it is, and it's what I'm required to set child support on, not what you think you might make in the future, but what you have made in the past. I don't have to guess, Mr. Averitt, at what you made last year. I would have to guess what you're going to make next year.
Mr. Averett's screwed.
I showed Deja 2 months of paychecks where I only brought $1,800, $2,000, $1,600 a month. I mean, a bi-weekly take-home pay.
You guys, did you hear what he just said? He said, I showed Deja my paycheck of how much I was bringing home. He said he gave her 2 pay stubs. So what does that tell you also? What's another characteristic about Deja? She doesn't read. All she did was look at that bottom number and that net, the amount that he brings home. She didn't even read the pay stub she would know already how much he made, because it would say year to date how much money he made. It would say year to date how much overtime he made, year to date how much Social Security is going out his check, year to date how much taxes, year to date even how much child support. So she would know all of this, but because she failed to read, reading is fundamental. But because she failed to read, now I don't know if that means she's uneducated or not, but she failed to read. Okay. Sometimes people are lazy. Sometimes people just go right to the numbers. But she failed to read. She failed to read the pay stub that he already gave her. So she shouldn't act like she's all surprised. She should already know. She should have came in court prepared, knowing how much money that this man made. But no.
Well, Mr. Averitt, the only problem with what your paycheck shows is your take-home pay is that you're already paying child support for other children in the state of Louisiana, right?
State of Texas.
Oh, the other two children are in the state of Texas too?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you see, that's already coming out of your check. Do they take money out of your check for retirement?
Yes.
See, all of those things, Mr. Averitt, you're not supposed to get credit for except for a computation calculation that I'm supposed to use according to the statute. You don't get credit for that stuff. Just because that's what you're taking home, that doesn't mean what you make.
Poor Mr. Averitt.
You could jack up your income taxes, Mr. Averitt, and have a whole lot of money taken out of your check every 2 weeks to hide tax money from me. It's just not going to work because I already have the calculation running.
Only thing I had coming out of my check is 401k, and that was only $300. That was it. Now I'm about to cut. I mean, that's the only thing coming out of my check. Everything else is federal tax, Social Security, Medicaid taxes, dental, life insurance for my kids, medical expenses, vision. That's all of that stuff is coming out of my check. There's nothing else pertaining to benefit me coming out of my check, but just that little 401k.
Okay.
That's it.
Well,
now I can show you that on paper. There's nothing that I'm hiding from anything. I work every day like, a normal person do. But what's going to happen if I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be, is that I don't want to be a type of person that be in arrears based on the other case that I have as well. If it is going to be like that, it's going to need to be some modification. It's going to need to be modified.
How much is your child support in the other case, Mr. Averitt?
I pay $700 and it's $800, almost $1,800 a month. It's $758, sometime a little bit more than that. Okay. Every 2 weeks to come out my check for those kids, for my kids there.
All right.
So now y'all see her fidgeting, right? So y'all see her fidgeting now. She's like, oh, them other kids getting $800. She got money going to other kids. This money needs to go to my kid. Trust me, that's what she's thinking. The Black woman intuition who's raised children, 4 grown kids. That's what my intuition is telling me that she is thinking. Oh gosh, that I need to give even some of that money. He got 800 going to this kid, 700 going to that kid. What about me? What about me? That's all. Trust me, that's all she is thinking. Let's do it. Let's do it. Look at her body.
Miss Randall, did you have anything else that you wanted to offer?
Yes, I had a few questions that I had that I needed answered, if it can be answered. The first question I had was I'm sure she has how much monthly is he supposed to be paying for Journey? How much monthly?
See, she's about the money. I told you.
According to my calculations, it's $1,435.
It's a lot.
That's what I calculated at.
She said,
okay.
That's not enough. That's not enough, girl. Are you serious? I can't with you.
I'm listening to you and everybody else, and he showed me his check stuff. So, but you guys are saying that it's like it's more. So it's like I'm like confused right now.
Miss Randall, let me see if I might be able to explain it to you. I don't guess when it comes to the numbers. I just listen to the testimony and then I base child support on what the evidence is. And the evidence is that Mr. Averitt earned over $145,000 last year. So while I understand Mr. Averett's concern that he may not make that much money in the future, I don't have anything but the ability to guess at what he might make in the future. I know what he made last year, and I can
Yes,
base
sir.
child support on what he made last year because that's what's been reported.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
I can't set child support on what might happen in the future because I don't have any idea what the numbers would be.
Yes, sir.
In fact, Mr. Averett's child support is not even being, if I set child support at the number that I set it at, that's not even the max because he makes more money than that. I'm only going to set child support on the $9,200 a month net that he's reporting from his employer.
Oh, our eyes are blinking now. Blink, 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 blink. There's a max. You mean that's not even the max? Well, I need the max. I need the max. I need the max. See, something going on in her brain right now. That money is turning. The thought is turning, it's turning, it's turning, it's turning. And then it just turns to make her crazy when it just goes pop, pop, kuda, kuda, pop. That's what the Japanese say. That's where that phrase came from.
Actually makes more than that. And I don't know where the money goes. That's none of my business.
Look at her face.
But I know his employer reported more money than that last year.
Yes, sir.
So I have another
So you saying I make?
Mr. Avery.
So you saying I got a
Mr.
question?
Avery.
I have a question.
Mr. Avery. I didn't ask.
Did y'all hear her? Yes, sir. Now she wants to talk. All sweet. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm done.
More money than that last year.
Yes, sir.
So I have another
So you saying I make?
Mr. Avery.
So you saying I got a
Mr.
question?
Avery.
I have a question.
Mr. Avery. I didn't ask you any more questions. Please don't interrupt me when I'm talking to Miss Randall.
I'm sorry.
Miss Randall, you said that you wanted to move to Houston. Why do you think you should be allowed to go to Houston?
I had wanted to
So she could go to Houston where the fun is and hang out and swing on poles. That's just my opinion. However,
start over and be closer to my family. I have family out there, which I have family out here too, where I'm at as well. But the family that I'm closer to is out there in Houston, and I would like to be closer and just better opportunities a little bit. So that's why I wanted to move.
Well, that may be.
y'all hear how her voice just got lower and lower and softer because now she doesn't even believe what she's saying herself. The lies are just pouring out. They don't even sound like herself. So she's thinking if she talks softer, it won't come out as harsh. Her real truth of what she is about, which is herself. Another selfish characteristic. That's how I look at it. Tell me how y'all see it.
The problem is that Mr. Everett is entitled to time with Journey. Right?
Yes, sir.
And if I let you move to Houston, then that's going to have a negative impact on Mr. Everett's ability to spend time with Journey because based on his work schedule, he might find it difficult trying to go back and forth to see the child if he has to go all the way to Houston to pick up the child. You understand?
She don't care. She don't care about that. She's all about herself. She doesn't care that it's going to take him a 3-hour drive to go drive all the way to Houston to see her and her baby.
Yes, sir.
So that's the reason why there's a rule in place that prohibits you from doing exactly what it is that you want to do. Now, if you had some great reason for moving to Houston, if somebody had offered you some wonderful job over there, or you had gotten some scholarship at a college somewhere and you needed to move there to go to school, that might be a different story. But just because you need a change of scenery, whether it's the right way for you to go or not, that's not sufficient for me to allow you to move to Harris County. Mr. Everett, what if I discounted your child support if you let Miss Randall move to Houston? Would you be agreeable to that?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you'd be responsible, Mr. Everett, for driving back and forth to Harris County to see your child. I would give you a discount on the child support based on the fact that you would have to absorb the travel costs. Would you be willing to allow that to happen?
Yes. How much a discount you're talking about?
I don't know. if you were going to spend time with Journey, it'd probably be pretty substantial, since you're going to have to be driving about, oh, I don't know. If you live in Port Arthur, depending on what part of Houston she moves to, it could be as much as 3 or 4 hours back and forth.
Yes, it is.
Is that something that you think you might be amenable to, Miss Randall?
I want to move, but I don't see, the problem is right now is I'm doing this for my daughter. This is
There she goes with her song and dance. See, now she's gonna sing. That's why I had a little music going on. Okay, now she's gonna see. My daughter. No, you just talking about yourself. You just thinking about yourself, not the daughter's father, not the bond with the daughter and the father. Just your only self. Watch her facial expressions, and also watch the black lady too on the other end. Watch her expression. She's gonna be like, oh my God. some parts, you know. So watch her, the lady on this row, all the way to the end. And then this lady right here, at one point, she's gonna be like, yeah, agreeing, and the judge is gonna scold her. So just keep your eye out on those faces. Watch all the faces, because they're showing what they're thinking.
I'm doing this for my daughter. And another thing is too, I don't want to put her dad, which is who you guys are talking to, I don't want to put him in a bind.
Okay, you guys, sorry. I had to stop it there. She said, I'm trying to work it out with her dad, which you're talking to. It's almost like she's saying, you're talking to the other dad. Like there's another dad. So her dad, this dad. So we don't know what's going on in this girl's life. This is just my black woman's intuition. She got a whole bunch going on that's not coming out, but it's bleeding out. Because she has what you call diarrhea of the mouth. So it's just oozing out. The truth is just oozing out of her. Lord have mercy, Jesus. What else is she about to say?
Her dad, which is who you guys are talking to, I don't want to put him in a bind. And I'm doing this so I can have a better life and my child can have a better life. I don't know if he's going to come down there like how you guys are saying that he needs to be down the 1st, the 5th. I don't know if he's going to do that because it's so much stuff that be going on. It's like too much. So I'm not even sure if he's going to do that or not.
Right. Okay.
And I'm just being honest. I'm not being rude. I don't even know if he's going to follow through with this.
Miss Randall, you're not being rude. You are being honest, and I do appreciate it. Okay?
This is when the judge patronizes her.
I mean, she's almost 3, right?
She's almost 3, right?
Yes, sir. She's almost 3. Her birthday's in August.
August, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Almost 3 years old, and you just finding out how many kids your baby's father has. You find out how much money he makes, even though he showed you his pay stubs. It's almost August. Her birthday's coming, so you've already on that pay stub.
Well, you heard the figures, Miss Randall. $1,435. Do you think that's what I saw to set child support at?
Test question. Look, she almost can't get it out. She wants more.
I mean, Mr. Averett had said something when we got started on this hearing that he thought you and he had worked something out. Did y'all work out a figure for child support?
Yes, but we did work something out. But now that I'm listening, and you guys went over the wages and stuff like that, I'm like,
how much he really makes now?
Still like
kuda pop effect going on in that brain. She got
yes, sir. So
dollar bills exploding in her brain right now.
I get it.
You get it.
See the judge. Y'all catch it. The judge said, "I get it."
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So
yeah, I get it.
You get it. You get
it. I get it.
She's all smiles right now. She's all smiles right now. I'm gonna show you again what she said. I get it, because I had that blown up to a wrong place.
You
I
get
do.
it.
I get it.
See? He gets it, the judge gets it, the judge gets her. The judge gets that she just wants more money, more money. She's only thinking about herself. That this is the characteristics of what some people might call ghetto girl. And what's that other song that group sang? But it was about guys. But now she's acting like it. Good for nothing type of brother. Silly me. Haven't I found another? See? Mm-mm. Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bill? Mm-mm-mm. Look at her. She's just smiling.
Mr. Averett, you said that the two children that you have with the other lady in Louisiana, she keeps them during the day most of the time, but you have them on a pretty regular basis.
Yes, sir.
And you spend time with them, you see them.
Yes, yes, all the time.
And you support them, you give the mother money to support the children.
Yes, I do.
So which one? They live with you or you support them?
Anything else, Miss Overstreet?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, see now he's
Miss
already
Randall,
at the place.
I'll get with you.
No.
I promise. Miss Randall, is there anything else about this case you think I need to know about before I make a ruling?
See, look at her.
I had a few other questions. Go.
See, now she won't quit.
I had a few other questions. Well, not any other questions.
Trying to get more.
So he do have visitation, like
oh my God. Tell me I didn't hear that. Please tell me I didn't hear her say he does has. Is that English? Is that Ebonics? He does has, he does has. We're just gonna play that again, and you know what? If it's true, I'm just gonna have to go right past it because that I can't. So what does that mean? This is the characteristic of a person that's uneducated and doesn't speak the English language well, doesn't articulate. Come on, women, we got to do better, people.
Any other questions? So he do have visitation, like he can come. Do I have to stay here, or like do I have to stay here in Port Arthur?
Yes, ma'am, you do. Does that mean
really?
Are you, Miss Randall? That doesn't mean that you can't travel, but the child will live in Jefferson County or a county that touches Jefferson County, unless Mr. Averett agrees to allow you to move, or the district judge agrees to allow you to move. That's the problem that you have when you have a child that's born in this county.
And in Texas.
That's their rule, Miss Randall. I didn't make it. I'm just one of the judges that enforces it. Okay?
Yes, sir. I understand. I had one more question.
Y'all see how she's smiling because she thinks she get paid. And she won't stop asking questions. She won't stop. At the 1400. Why?
The question I had was, so I have to stay here.
Yeah, you have to stay there.
Are you guys gonna ask for? Is he gonna visit her more than what you guys said for him to visit, like the 1st and the 5th and all that?
No, it's going to be in the order that he has visitation as per the standard possession order, Miss Randall. If I rule that way, and that means that Mr. Averett would have the 1st, 3rd, and 5th weekend of each month. Every other holiday, 30 days in the summer, and then every Father's Day weekend. It amounts to about 40% of the year.
So he have to visit her with. You don't have to?
Nope. I give him the rights to see the child, Miss Randall, but I can't force him to be a good dad.
See, y'all, she wants him to come see him more. She wants him to come see her more. She's saying he has to come see the child, but she's really talking about herself. She wants him to come down there and see her more so she could do what? He could slip in and slip out, slipping and sliding, like maybe he did more of before when the baby was younger or before she even got pregnant. So that's what she really wants. But she acting like she wants him to visit the child more. She wants him to come through over there at her place, even though she wants to move all the way to Houston. But she's like, well, since I have to stay here in Port Arthur, can't y'all make him come slide through and see me a little bit more? Because y'all know that's what I'm about, right? Right?
Have to?
Nope.
He
It's to about 40% of the year.
so he have to visit her with he don't have to?
Nope. I give him the rights to see the child, Miss Randall, but I can't force him to be a good dad. I can force him to pay the child support and I can force him to pay the medical support, but I can't force him to be a good parent. I don't have that ability. It's way outside the realm of what I can do.
See?
Okay?
Okay, I have one more question.
There
Yes,
she goes, put that foot in her mouth.
So since I can't move,
She almost can't get out her ratchetness because she hears how it sounds, how bad.
how
She can't make it sound nice.
the young lady that I spoke to earlier, she asked me that I want to
Ask me if I want to
do back pay.
back pay.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I pick a certain amount of back pay that I would like to do?
No, ma'am. Do you think that Mr. Avery should pay you retroactive child support?
Why is she smiling? She thinks it's a game.
Yes. Yes.
That's not what you said before. You said you didn't want back child support in this case because you didn't think that Mr. Avery could afford it.
Because now she goes back on her word. So what other characteristic do we have about her now? She's not the type of woman to stick to her word. Is that a classic woman, modern woman, traditional woman, or a ratchet woman? Baby, this girl, she just doing way too much for me. I am so serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not what you said before. You said you didn't want back child support in this case because you didn't think that Mr. Avery could afford it. Now you're changing your mind in regards to that?
You see the lady? You see? You see the lady right there. While he's asking the mother, so now you want back child support? She can't hold her emotions in, her thoughts in. It all comes out of her body. So she's just kind of like her body is just going like just like yeah. That's what she's saying. The judge doesn't like that, and then when the judge says something, she's just like, what did I? She didn't even say what did I do? She just moved on. Let me show y'all. Watch her closely on this clip.
Because you didn't think that Mr. Avery could afford it. Now you're changing your mind in regards to that? Ms. Brown-Zito, I don't need any comments from you whatsoever in regards to this case. If you continue to make facial recognition movements in regards to this video, I'm going to remove you from my courtroom. Ms. Randall, are you saying now that you've changed your mind and you would like some retroactive child support in this case?
Yes.
Of course she does.
Why do you think now that you should get retroactive child support after you've already said that you didn't want it?
Because he won't.
Because I'm greedy.
Because I'm trying to work. Okay, this is why I feel some type of way. Because I don't like holding nothing in. But I'm trying to work with him.
Okay, so here definitely comes another song and dance. She's just trying to talk soft. And now, see, I don't like holding stuff in. So I'm going to just let it out. I'm going to tell you the real deal now, Judge, which, of course, she doesn't really tell me the truth. But y'all see how she starts putting her foot in her mouth and watch the lady all the way over to the end, the black lady, her facial expression. She's looking like, you need to stop. You need to stop. I'm like, oh, no, here, what's coming now? I've been through these too many times.
I'm working with him. And I'm trying to do what's best for my daughter at the same time. So I'm working with him and trying to do what's best for Journey. I need him to work with me as well too.
Okay.
And I don't feel like he's working with me right now. He's not saying enough. I need him, and I know he's listening to me. I need him to say.
What does she want him to say?
I mean, again, Ms. Randall, I don't think that there's anyone in this courtroom that's going to be able to alleviate your fears as far as what Mr. Averett may or may not do in the future. I just, whether he tells you or doesn't tell you that he's going to be a good dad for Journey, that's his personal decision that he's going to have to make.
Yes, sir. I'm aware of that. I'm aware. I understand. It's not that. It's just that I'm also doing this for my daughter, and I'm also trying to look out as well. And I need him to look out for me as well too. And I don't feel like he's looking.
You guys, tell me, please. What was all that body language? I'm trying to look out for and what? Meaning she's not talking to his baby mother. She's not exposing him that she's a side chick. Although he has a wife and some other children in Louisiana or wherever. So what does she mean? I'm working with him. I'm trying to work with him, but now I want back child support, but I'm trying to work with him. Okay. Well, what does she mean? I'm trying to work with him. Is that, like I said, I'm not doing all that talking to them, letting them know how long me and him been together and all of that. So I'm trying to work with him. So he needs to try to work with me. Like, he needs to give me some more money to keep me quiet, to keep my mouth shut. But your mouth is not shut, lady. You just talking, yakety yak. Let me do it. Let me do this thing. It's about 3 minutes left.
Out for me, like I'm looking out for him.
Okay. Well, it's not always a two-way street, Miss Randall. That's for sure.
She don't like that answer. She does not like that answer.
Can I speak now, or?
I was just making sure. Is that all you need? Is that everything that you wanted me to hear, Miss Randall?
Yes, right now at the moment, yes, sir.
Okay.
See, that's the judge's way to say, is there anything else you want to put your foot in your mouth about, Miss Randall? Because I'm all ears. Just ramble on, Miss Randall. Ramble on.
Go ahead, Mr. Averett. Is there anything else you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
Yes. We did talk about she was going to waive the back child support. For whatever reason, she done changed her mind because of the living conditions. You know, she done waived it. She done said she wants the back child support. God forbid what that's going to be. But anyway.
Because now she got to stay in Port Arthur.
Deja has already moved to Houston.
Did y'all hear what he
And I
said?
disagree with the fact.
Did y'all hear what he just said? He said Deja already moved back to Houston. So she's already moved. She already moved.
God forbid what that's going to be. But anyway, Deja has already moved to Houston. And I disagree with the fact that I disagree with the fact that she's already.
I need to get this addressed right now. Is that true, Miss Randall? Have you already moved to Houston?
I have, and then I have not moved there.
Miss Randall, that's a pretty simple question, and it only requires a yes or no answer. Do you or do you not live in Houston?
No, I don't. I don't stay there.
What is your current address?
My current address is 3.
Just give me.
Okay. So y'all see, she really put her foot in her mouth. She's like, no, I don't. But the lady that had the blue background, if you notice, she's already dipped. because she's the one that has all her information. She knows she has her address right there in the paper. So when she looked at the address, like, did she move to Houston? She just dipped because she already knows where this is going. This is how she put her foot in her mouth. And then she thinks if she says it real fast, it's going to go over and the judge's not going to catch where she actually says she lives. And also, so I don't have to stop it again, the judge asked her for the street and the city. The street and the city, and watch her answer. So you can see she's trying to be slick, like outsmart the judge. But come on, lady. Come on. Do's and has and whatever. You don't even know how to use those in the proper sentence. I don't think you can outsmart this judge. Here we go.
No, I don't. I don't stay there.
What is your current address?
My current address is 3.
Just give me the city and the street.
Okay, 311 North District Drive.
And where is that? What city?
Houston, Texas, Harris County. Houston,
Okay.
Harris.
Thank you, Ms. Randall. Is there anything further from the state of Texas?
No, Your Honor.
Just overstreet, your case is dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
There will be no child support. There will be no medical support. There will be no visitation. There will be no finding that Mr. Averett is the father. The mother has moved and changed residences to Harris County. And if a new lawsuit will have to be filed in this case, there will have to be filed in Harris County.
Can you repeat that, sir?
I've denied the state's motion for child support, medical support, visitation, and custody of the child, Ms. Randall. You no longer live in Jefferson County, and therefore this county no longer has jurisdiction to hear your case.
I stay.
You will have to have it, Ms. Randall. Ms. Randall, you don't get to have all of it. Okay? You don't get to live where you want to live in violations of the laws of this county that I practice in, that I'm the judge, that I'm one of the judges in, but then move off somewhere else and hope that I'm going to continue to hit Mr. Averett for max child support and max retroactive child support. You can't have both. So what I've just done, I've dismissed the state suit. And if anyone is dissatisfied with my ruling, you have 3 days wish to appeal.
Okay. 3 days to appeal, Miss Thang. Case dismissed. Now she has to start all over. Now some people will say, well, that's an advantage to her, but guess what? It's also an advantage to him because now he can bring all the documentation and proof that he needs to prove those are his biological children, if in fact they are his biological children. Then if he's smart enough to get an attorney, maybe he can figure out how long he's been visiting a child in Houston, and he can get something deducted from that back child support for the gas and stuff and the travel he had to pay just to go back and forth to see his daughter that when she's living in Houston. Because now, see, she has to move. She already moved to Houston, so now she has to move back to Port Arthur. So that's going to be another expense for her. That's why. Another reason why she needs more money, But like I said, this is an advantage to both of them if they're smart because, come on. You got to use your brain. We got to work smarter, not harder in 2023. Okay? And stop sleeping around, use protection. Come on. What's the deal? Now, see, we made like 11 characteristics for this lady. So please put in the comments what type of lady would you say that she is? Would you say? Well, because I got some characteristics down here. We got like 11 characteristics. Unsure who her baby daddy is. Okay, so what type of person is that? Is that a classic lady, modern woman, traditional woman? Little knowledge of the baby father after 3 years. She was totally surprised with how many kids he had. When they said 5 other children, she said maybe 2. It come out 5 other children. Then we found out she was all about the money because she did want that back child support. She wants him to pay. And then she found out she's a side chick. When she found out the insurance was going to the wife, he had insurance for his wife. He had insurance for 5 kids plus hers. So she found out, I'm the side chick. Boo-hoo-hoo. Then we also found out she was selfish because she said I about 25 million times. I'm trying to live a better life. Yeah, you're not thinking about your daughter, you're thinking about yourself. Okay? And she's fake, like I said, because she said she didn't want child support, but she did. That's number 6. Okay, then the way she dressed, totally unprofessional. Come on now. I would have had on my little white blouse, button up, and everything. I don't care. I'm going in front of the judge. This is court. She was dressed like she was going to a booty call, maybe. Who knows? Around the way, she's not even around the way girl that LL Cool J talks about, because around the way girl is smart. Around the way girl is smart. Come on now. Around the way girl will not mess up $1,400 in child support every month. Okay, $1,435. So that was number 7. Number 8, she sounds uneducated. Even a classic woman, if she's not educated, she's gonna learn how to speak right. She's gonna learn how to fake it till she makes it. That was number 8. Number 8. So the last thing, 9. Can y'all make him come visit? Now I have to stay in Port. All right there. So she's worried about him come sliding through. She want him to come slip and slide like Greasy. You got a long way to slide. She wanted him to come sliding through so she can get her interactions on her relations, get her cookies. Maybe they can make cookies, share cookies, have more unprotected cookies, and maybe she can even make another baby. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for listening. You listen to Jukebox News. Put your comments in. Please press the like button, even if you didn't like my video. Just give me that. And I need subscribers. Tell your friends, your auntie, your cousins, your sisters, everybody, even the friends you don't like. Tell them to subscribe to Jukebox News channel. Once again, turn it up, listen up. It's Jukebox News. Thank you again for listening.